And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tomorrow on Monday, it is set to be a big day for the United Kingdom as the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood is of course rolling out her plans to stop illegal migration. Of course she is trying to implement the Danish approach to our sort of border crisis and our asylum crisis at this moment in time. A lot of people are seeing it as a good step in the right direction. Others, of course, do have their reservations due to it being the Labour government that are implementing these changes. Now, of course, there is a lot to still discuss, and we are going to be listening to some of those reservations a little bit later on in today's video. But I love these sort of live panel debates where an audience member, of course, gives their thoughts and opinions on a certain subject. In today's video, this so happens to be a British Army veteran who gives his real life account of the current state of this country that is, of course, being affected by illegal migration. Again, we need to hear people's everyday stories with regard to the impact of mass illegal immigration in this country, and we are going to be hearing one of those stories in today's video. As always, guys, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. You've seen the state of this country, now wear the message. Wankir, Stunk Farmer, Liber. Shop the full collection by going down into the link in the description or heading over to BritishStan.com. So here we do have a veteran erupting at the state of the United Kingdom. He gives real life accounts of his own daughters living in the current state of the UK.
We'll open it up to the rest of the panel. What would you like to say about all this, sir?
Well, I'm Andrew Dobson. I'm from your neck of the woods in Kendal, Cumbria.
Strong part of the world, mate. Well done. The Westmoreland Gazette, fabulous local newspaper. Yeah.
I'm 78 years old. I've never seen so much hypocrisy in any government during my entire life. They are not going to stop the boats, it's obvious. And I totally support Adam in what he said in the past on previous programmes, that he is concerned about the safety of his daughters on the streets. Well, I'm afraid it's too late for me, because I've got two daughters and they've both been attacked. One on a tube train and the other on the streets in Clapham. Now, they're not stupid girls, they're from King's College, they're university graduates, but they're still frightened to death of walking the streets alone at any time during the day in London. And people like Sadiq Khan, the mayor, and the government are denying it. What planet are they on? Because they're certainly not on the same planet I'm on. And ask my daughters what they must think. They're frightened to death. And it's not just about me and my daughters, it's about everybody's daughters and girls and women on the streets in this country at the moment. You know, are you frightened? Do you feel safe on the streets? What about you, sir? Do you feel safe? Because there was a man walking his dog the other week in Uxbridge. He got murdered. What about all the people on the train in Huntingdon the other week? And it's going on all over. They're not going to stop the boats. And they're asking me if you're entitled to a family life when they come here. You can see by my shirt, this is from the nuclear submarine Conqueror. What do you think of a family life I had when I was out there serving my country on a nuclear submarine?
Yeah, I mean, well done for what thank you for obviously this. Very, very sorry to hear about what happened to your daughters there as well. I do hope they're okay, and I'm sure we all share that sentiment. Just a couple of.
Now, you can get countless stories, real-life examples from people up and down the United Kingdom. But again, his certain story is, again, a very common one. Again, another sort of military person, a veteran that's fought for this country, served their time for this country, and now seeing and asking themselves, well, what was it for? Yes, not a World War II veteran, but you know what I mean, still signing the dotted line and willing to lay down his life for this country. And what does he see when he gets back? An absolute shithole. However, guys, as some were saying, people are saying, well, this is set to change, and that The Home Secretary, of course, rolling things out as of tomorrow. Again, people are saying that it is a step in the right direction. It's doing something, especially if they can replicate the Danish model. But there is still a lot of question marks around it. And I felt this video asks those questions pretty well.
It is interesting, though, isn't it, Michael, that while Shabana Mahmood she's announcing this tomorrow, that the toughest crackdown in a generation on migration, she doesn't actually mention the fact that if we are following Denmark's example, which is what she's saying we're going to do, she doesn't mention that third country, the Rwanda idea.
No, I mean, it's a difficult issue for Labour because they, at the height of the general election, branded it gimmick and said they'd scrap it on day one. And that's exactly what they did. And then the senior Labour government at the time, Keir Starmer, Yvette Cooper, they campaigned on a slogan of smash the gangs. Now, what's interesting, they're shifting away from that. Sources were saying that it doesn't go far enough. Now, that's an interesting omission in itself. So they're trying to now tackle the reason people are coming. So the idea that you can stop the boats or indeed stop people from claiming when they've come on a student visa or a work visa, it needs a deterrent, and this is where it's all going.
I mean, the other issue I keep coming back to, Michael, with all of this is we've already got 35,000 illegal migrants over here who've failed every single hurdle of appeal. So they are here illegally. There are no more appeals left to them, and they are still here. So how are we all meant to have any faith in what's coming, as Shabana Mahmood is suggesting? We can't get rid of these people.
No, that's it. That is the nub of the problem. I mean, the asylum appeals backlog is growing ever still. It's well over 50,000 now. So this is going to keep going because there will be appeal after appeal on all of it. We've seen it. They're trying, to their credit, change the modern slavery legislation because that's a new area that's opened up. So asylum seekers are saying, I can't be deported because I'll be a victim of modern slavery when I get home. So that, again, brings it all back to deportations. The government are going to have to come forward with a credible option to ramp up numbers because we've seen that the France deal isn't having the deterrent effect at all. They're celebrating getting over 100 people out, and I just don't think anyone in a camp in northern France is going to be really put off on those sorts of numbers. It's going to have to go up into the thousands, if not more, for it to become credible. And that's why the Tories are campaigning for 150,000 a year. It's why Nigel Farage has, if he wins the general election, said that he will deport 600,000. That's the sort of number that creates a deterrent. And you see it across across Europe. Germany are restricting asylum rights and they are reopening deportation routes with Afghanistan. So there are tougher actions being taken across the continent.
It's funny, when we try to do things, we're accused of being racist and all sorts, where other European countries that are part of the EU get away with it. I never quite understand how we actually can't do what countries within the EU still signed up to the European Convention on Human Rights get away with.
Now, a lot of good points are made there. And of course, just because this new sort of thing is coming in as of tomorrow, we still have there's a lot of unanswered questions on how it's going to be implemented. And if history is to show us with a Labour government, they're not competent in doing anything effectively. So they'll say they want to mirror something like Denmark, but it'll be a sort of diet version and it won't actually work. And even then, even still, that's still not stopping the boats entirely, you know, and as that individual said, you know, appealing is always going to create a backlog, and they're still going to be housed in the country whilst they're waiting to be deported at the expense of the taxpayer. So there's of course still space to stop the boats first. And then, of course, we do need mass deportations because the individuals that have already crossed the 40,000 this year, there's no way that they can stay. They can't have indefinite leave to remain. That just cannot be the case. But anyway, we'll find out tomorrow. It's going to be a big one. We'll be covering it as the news breaks. But as always, guys, do let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Hit like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.